Question number 31. Moment of inertia of a rod about axis perpendicular to the length of the rod passing through a point equidistant from its midpoint and one end is asked. So you just consider a situation in terms of diagram. It is a rod of mass m and length L. You know this is the center, axis passing through the center. It is asked moment of inertia of the rod about an axis passing through a point which is equidistant from end and center. That means distance, it is L by 4. Total distance between the two ends of the rod is L, means 1/4 of that, it is L by 4. Moment of inertia of this rod about this axis can be found by using parallel axis theorem, that is I is equal to ICM plus m into x square, where x is L by 4. I is equal to ICM, moment of inertia of the rod about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to the length is m L square by 2L plus m x is L by 4 whole square. That is I is equal to m L square by 2L plus m L square by 16. Here 48 is LCM. 48, 12 4 times, 16 3 times into ml square, right? 4 plus 3, it is moment of inertia, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 by 48 ml square. So 7 by 48 ml square means second option is the correct choice, B is the correct answer. Question number 32. A rupee coin starting from rest rolls down a distance of 1 meter on an inclined plane at an angle of 30 degree with horizontal. Assuming g is equal to 9.81 meter per second square, time taken, right? You just consider inclined plane. Angle of inclination is given, it is theta is equal to 30 degree. It is coin means it is a disc, circular disc, rolling. When it rolls on inclined plane, how much time it takes to reach the bottommost portion of the inclined plane is a question. Here there is a formula to find out time taken. T is equal to root of 2L by g sin theta into 1 plus I divided by mr square. You know that for coin means it is a disc, moment of inertia is mr square by 2. It is mr square by 2. So time taken can be written as 2. It is given length of the inclined plane is 1 meter, 2 into 1 divided by g into sin theta is sin 30 degree into 1 plus moment of inertia is 1 by 2 mr square divided by mr square, that is equal to 2 into 1 is 2, it is g into 1 by 2 sin 30 is half into 1 plus 1 by 2, it is t is equal to square root of 2 into 2 4 divided by g means 9.81 into 3 by 2, it is 2 times 2 into 3 6. If I consider 9.81 as 10, it is 6 by 10 means root of 0.6. So answer closer to this is, it is 0.78. Takes a time of 0.78 second. Option C is correct answer here. Question number 33. a circular plate of uniform thickness has a diameter of 56 centimeter. Circular portion of diameter 42 centimeter is removed from one edge as shown in the figure. Center of mass of remaining portion of the center of the plate will be at a distance. As a question, you just consider it is a circular plate of diameter 56 centimeter. That means I would like to consider this as initial R1 is equal to 56 by 2, it is 28 centimeter. 28 centimeter. Now circular portion of diameter 42 centimeter is removed from the edge. We just show it in the diagram. This is the center, this is the radius of the disc to be removed. I would like to take as R2. R2 is 42 divided by 2, which is 21 centimeter. Now mass of original disc we can take as m, then mass of disc to be removed we can take as m2, which is equal to, it is mass by area pi into radius of first, it is 28 whole square into pi into 21 whole square. So m2 is equal to pi get cancelled, 21 by 28, 3 by 4 means 9 by 16 m. This is the value of m2. This one I would like to take as m1. So to calculate center of mass of remaining portion of the circular disc, we have a formula. It is RCM is equal to m1 R1 minus m2 R2 divided by m1 minus m2. m1, m2, value of m1 and m2 we have here, R1 and R2. You know that R1 is center of mass of original disc with respect to origin, which is 0. R2 is equal to center of mass of disc to be removed with respect to origin. This is 21 centimeter, this is 28 centimeter, 28 centimeter minus 21 centimeter, which is 7 centimeter. Now we can substitute the value of R1 and R2 in the equation. M1 I would like to take as m, R1 it is 0, M2 is 9 by 16 m into R2 is 7 divided by m minus 9 by 16 m, which is equal to minus 9 by 16 m into 7. It is 16 minus 9, 7 m divided by 16. 7 m by 16 means minus 9 centimeter. That means center of mass of remaining portion of disc will be shifted to the left side of the disc to a distance minus 9 centimeter. Negative sign indicates it is shifted to left side. So answer is here 9 centimeter. 9 centimeter means option C is correct answer. 34, question number 34. Long horizontal rod has a bead which can slide along its length and initially placed at a distance L from one end A of the rod. The rod is set in angular motion about A with a constant angular acceleration alpha. If the coefficient of friction between the rod and the bead is mu, gravity is neglected, then time after which bead start slipping is. You just consider a rod, say this is the end about which rod is being rotated. Now bead is placed at a distance L from the fixed end. You know that initially the rod was at rest. When a tangential force is applied to the end of the rod, it starts moving. You know that when it starts moving, its angular velocity changes. When angular velocity of bead changes, the bead experiences two forces. One is centrifugal force, which is towards the right side. It is centrifugal force. CF means centrifugal force. And this centrifugal force is now balanced by frictional force. Frictional force is acting opposite side of the centrifugal force. As you increase omega value, centrifugal force increases. You know that frictional force is a self-adjusting force. It adjusts its value to the centrifugal force value. At a certain instant when angular velocity is maximum, this balances this. Above the value of omega, frictional force cannot balance centrifugal force. Means maximum angular velocity which you can apply here omega. So I would like to use this condition to find out a time after which bead start slipping. That is when omega is maximum, so that bead is at rest. Centrifugal force is equal to frictional force. Centrifugal force, it is m omega square L. Frictional force, you know, mu into N. Here N, normal reaction force, is provided by tangential force. So N value is equal to m into at. At means it's a tangential acceleration. So I write m omega square L is equal to mu into normal reaction force is m into at, that is m into omega value. You know that initially it was at rest. Final it attained angular velocity omega. Angular velocity omega is due to angular acceleration. So omega can be written as alpha into t. That means omega is alpha t whole square into L mu into m into at is r alpha. R is L into alpha. You just cancel similar term. M get cancelled here. L get cancelled here. So T is equal to square root of mu by alpha. That means T is equal to square root of mu by alpha. Option A is correct answer. 3 identical bricks of length L are placed on the top of each other as shown in the figure. So the part of each overhangs the one below. Find in terms of L maximum value of the total overhung X is. You just consider 3 bricks placed one above the other. Now we can retain a second brick, second, third, first as it is. Second and third. First brick you can pull outside. First brick. 2, 3 you can pull outside to that extent such that center of mass of first brick comes just above the edge of the second brick. So W is acting from here. This is L by 2. Beyond that you cannot pull the first brick. This is a maximum length up to which first brick can be pulled. It is a first brick. Now we can see about second brick. It is a third brick. Now when I pull second brick, second brick should be pulled in such a way that first brick is already pulled. This is W. This is W. This distance is asked. When I pull second brick outside the third brick, first, second, third, you can see here this start unbalancing to the left side. So you can pull second brick to the extent such that the torque due to second brick about this point must be balanced by torque due to first brick. So torque due to first brick must be balanced by torque due to second brick. Up to that extent, up to that length, second brick can be pulled. Say it is in balance now. When this is in balance, torque, I write, this is torque due to first brick. Torque tau 1 is equal to torque tau 2. Then this length is L by 2. Anyhow, this length is L by 2. This distance I would like to take as, this is given as x. This distance I would like to take as x1. This distance is x1. This distance is L by 2 minus x. This is x1. This is L by 2 minus x. Torque tau 1 is, it is W into x1 is equal to torque tau 2 is W into L by 2 minus x1. That is W get cancelled. x1 is equal to L by 2 minus x1. It is 2x1 is equal to L by 2. That implies x1 is equal to L by 4. X1 is L by 4. Now total length which is outside is it is a maximum value of total overhung x is equal to, it is L by 2 plus x1. It is x is equal to L by 2 plus x1 is, it is L by 4. So x is equal to 3L by 4. 3L by 4 means it is option C is correct answer. C is the correct answer. Number 36. In the figure, half of the meter scale is made up of wood while the other half is steel. The wooden part is pivoted at O. A force F is applied at the end of the steel part. In figure 2, the steel part is pivoted at O and the same force is applied at the wooden end. We can just draw the diagram to discuss more about this question. It is wooden part. First part is wooden part. Second part is steel. Force is applied about this point. Steel. This is wood. Force is applied about wooden part. This is O. This is O. Question asked is which one experiences more acceleration? You know, acceleration, when force is applied, when this end is fixed, so it undergo rotational motion. Rotational motion is due to torque. So torque tau is equal to I into alpha. That implies alpha is equal to torque divided by I. Or alpha can be written as alpha is equal to, if I consider this length as L, if I consider this length as L, alpha is equal to A by L, which is equal to tau by I. And as given in the problem, L is constant. L is same in both the diagrams, and same force is applied, means torque is also same. So that implies A is inversely proportional to moment of inertia. A is inversely proportional to moment of inertia. If you just look at this part or this figure, moment of inertia of this system is greater compared to this. Steel is more denser than wood, so more mass is concentrated at the further end of the system. So moment of inertia of this is greater than moment of inertia of this. So I write I1 is greater than I2. That means A1 is lesser than E2. A1 is lesser than E2 means this one means the second system moves with a greater acceleration. B is the correct option. More acceleration will be produced in figure 2. B is the correct answer here. Question number 37. A circular disc of radius r and thickness r by 6 has moment of inertia I about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to the plane. It is melted and recasted into solid sphere. Moment of inertia of sphere about its diameter as axis of rotation is. First we can find out moment of inertia of circular disc. It is given radius is r and mass, say it is m. So I is equal to moment of inertia of the circular disc about an axis passing through center and perpendicular to the plane is half mr square. You know that when the disc is melted and recasted into solid sphere, mass of disc remains same. Say mass of the disc is equal to mass of solid sphere. Mass is equal to volume into density. It is volume of the density into disc equal to volume of sphere into density. That means volume of the disc is equal to volume of the sphere. That is volume of the disc. Volume of the disc area, it is pi r square into thickness r by 6 equal to volume of the sphere. It is 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is pi get cancelled 3 2 times. It is r cube is equal to r cube by 8. That implies r is equal to r by 2. Now moment of inertia of the sphere, moment of inertia of sphere, I is equal to 2 by 5 m r square, which is I is equal to 2 by 5. I take moment of inertia as I dash here because already we have taken moment of inertia of circular disc as I. It is I dash is equal to m into r is r by 2, which is r by 2 whole square, which is equal to, it is 2 by 5 into m r square into 1 by 4. That is 1 2 get cancelled, which is I dash is equal to 1 by 5 into mr square by 2. I dash is equal to 1 by 5 into mr square by 2, which is 1 by 5 mr square by 2 means it is moment of inertia of the circular disc. So mr square by 2 can be replaced by I. That means I dash is equal to 1 by 5 into I, or I by 5. So option C is correct answer here. Question number 38. A thin uniform circular ring is rolling down an inclined plane of inclination 30 degree without slipping. Its linear acceleration along the inclined plane will be. It is uniform circular ring in rolling on inclined plane. Then acceleration of the uniform circular ring on inclined plane is asked. Acceleration can be found by using the formula A is equal to g sin theta divided by 1 plus I by mr square, where I is moment of inertia, that is moment of inertia of circular ring, I is equal to mr square. That means A is equal to g into sin theta is 30 degree, sin 30 degree divided by 1 plus mr square divided by mr square, which is A is equal to g into half mr square get cancelled. It is 1 plus 1 2. A is equal to g by 4. G by 4 is the correct option. So answer is C. 39. Question number 39. A solid cylinder on moving with a constant speed V0 reaches the bottom of an inclined plane of 30 degree. A hollow cylinder of same mass and radius moving with the same constant speed V0 reaches the bottom of different inclination of theta. There is no slipping and both of them go through same distance in the same time, then theta is asked. So here there are two objects. One is solid cylinder. It is a solid cylinder. And another one, it is a hollow cylinder. Solid cylinder, hollow cylinder, length of inclined plane in both of the cases same. Theta, in the first case theta is equal to, it is 30 degree. Second case theta value is asked. You know that as given in the problem, time taken in both the cases it is same. So I take this as the first case, this as the second case. I write T1 is equal to T2. You know T1 means it is a root of 2L by G sin theta into 1 plus I by mr square, which is equal to, I would like to take this as theta 1 and this as I1, which is equal to 2L by sin theta 2 into 1 plus I by mr square, which is I2 here. Now 2L is common both sides, you can cancel root 2L. It is root of G is same, G is get cancelled. 1 by sin theta 1. Sin theta 1 means it is sin 30 degree. It is 1 plus first one solid cylinder. Solid cylinder means we can use a formula, moment of inertia formula is, it is half mr square divided by mr square, which is equal to root of 1 by sin theta 2 into 1 plus moment of inertia of a hollow cylinder, which is moment of inertia of a circular ring. it is mr square divided by mr square. So cancel, it is squaring on both sides. We can write 1 by 2, 1 plus 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by sin theta 2 into 2. It is 2 into 3 by 2. 2 into 3 by 2 is equal to 2 by sin theta 2. You know 2 is common, both sides, left hand side and right hand side get cancelled. So sin theta 2 is equal to 2 by 3. Sin theta 2 is equal to 2 by 3 means theta 2 is equal to 42 degree. 42 degree means option C is the correct answer. 40. Uniform bar of length 6a, mass 8 m lies on a smooth horizontal table. 2 point masses m and 2m moving in the same horizontal plane with speed 2v and v respectively strikes the bar as shown in the figure and stick to the bar after the collision. Denoting angular velocity about the center of mass, total energy and center of mass velocity by omega, E and Vc respectively, we have after the collision. Here first we can draw the diagram related to the situation. This is a uniform bar of mass 8 m, length 6a. We can take length of this bar as 6a. It is given in the question that mass m, this we can identify as center, mass m strike at a distance 2a from center and it strikes, when it strikes its velocity is 2v. Other end it is mass 2m strikes to the uniform bar with velocity v, which is at a distance a. Definitely here center of mass of the system is not equal to 0 because center is not fixed. So option A is a wrong option. Then we can see which of the options are correct. To know this, we can divide this problem into two parts. That is before sticking or striking the masses to the uniform bar and after striking. And you know, before and after angular momentum is same. That concept we can use here. That is angular momentum before striking I would like to take as L1. Angular momentum after striking I would like to take as L2. But L1 I would like to write in terms of mvr. Angular momentum can be expressed in terms of mvr, and angular momentum can also be expressed in terms of I omega. Reason for this is, you know that it is before striking the particle were moving in the straight line, they have linear momentum. So you know that because this momentum is about the center, they have angular momentum also. L1 can be expressed in terms of mvr. After striking, you know that these 2 point masses and bar moves in a rotational motion. To express that, I would like to write final angular momentum L2 in terms of I omega. That is L1. If I consider L1, this is a point mass m, and v here it is 2v, and it strikes a bar at a distance 2a from the center, plus momentum of this one, it is 2m into v into a, which is equal to angular momentum angular momentum of this particle I1, angular momentum of this particle I2, this one I would like to consider as first particle 1, this as the second particle I2, plus angular momentum of the uniform bar I would like to take as IB into omega. Now this is 4 mVA plus 2 mVA, which is equal to, moment of inertia of the particle about the axis can be found by using the formula mr square. Mass of this is m into a, which is at a distance 2a, it is 2a whole square, plus moment of inertia of this particle, it is mass is 2m into perpendicular distance is a square, plus moment of inertia of this uniform bar about the axis passing through the center of the bar is ml square by 12. So mass of this rod as given in the problem, it is 8m into L square length of the bar, which is 6a whole square divided by 12 into omega. That means here it is 6 mVA is equal to, this is 6 mVA is equal to, it is 2 ma square plus 2 square means 4 ma square plus 2 ma square. I have written as it is. 6 square 36 by 12 means it is 3 into 8 24, it is plus 24 ma square into omega. So that means it is 6 mVA is equal to 24 plus 2 26 plus 4 30, it is 30 ma square into omega. That implies omega is equal to 6 5 times we can cancel, m get cancelled and a get cancelled here, it is v divided by 6 m is cancelled, a v divided by 6a, it is 5a, 6 5 times v by 5a, right? 6 cancels, m cancels, v only remains here. Here it is a, 1a get cancelled, a, right? Omega is equal to v by 5a, but omega is equal to v by 5 is not there in the option. So option B and C are wrong. Then we can check option D. You know that option D is total energy of the system after striking. It is total energy. E is equal to half into moment of inertia of the system. I write Is. Moment of inertia of the system means it is a moment of inertia of particle, two particles as well as uniform bar after the collision. That is Is I would like to write into omega square, which is equal to half into Is we already calculated. This part is Is. This part represent Is. So as it is replace I by this value, it is 30 into m into a square omega. Sorry, omega we found the value of omega v m a square only, 30 m a square, yes, 30 m a square, and omega value we found, it is v by 5a whole square, right? It is a half, Is is 30 m a square and omega is v by 5a whole square. It is 15 times, it is 15 by 25, 15 by 25 means 3 by 5 into a square get cancelled into m into v square. E is equal to 3 by 5 mv square. We can see here D option which satisfies, which matches with this answer. So D is the correct option here. D is the correct answer. Question number 41. Solid cylinder of mass 2 kg and radius 4 centimeter is rotating about its axis at the rate of 3 rpm. Torque required to stop after 2 pi revolution is. This problem is based on formula of torque. So you know solid cylinder of mass 2 kg is given. We can write mass m as 2 kg here. Then radius 4 centimeter, r is equal to 4 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Then rotating about the axis at the rate of 3 rpm. At the rate of 3 rpm, frequency is given 3 divided by 60. 3 divided by 60 rps this is. And required to stop by 2 pi revolution. Theta is 2 pi revolution, means 2 pi into 2 pi radian. So it is 2 pi revolution. 2 pi revolution means 2 pi into 2 pi radian. 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radian. 2 pi revolution means 2 pi into 2 pi radian. Now torque can be found by using the formula torque tau is equal to I alpha, which is torque tau is equal to I alpha for solid cylinder. Solid cylinder moment of inertia is m r square by 2. Here alpha, so you know that initially the cylinder was at rest, then initially solid cylinder was rotating at the rate of 3 rpm. Then to stop it means formula here omega square is equal to omega naught square minus 2 alpha theta is the formula. To stop means this is 0, which is omega naught square minus 2 alpha theta. That implies alpha is equal to omega naught square divided by 2 theta. So alpha can be replaced by omega naught square divided by 2 theta. Now torque tau is equal to, it is m r square divided by 4 theta into omega naught square. Omega naught square. Omega naught square means 2 pi of whole square. 2 pi of whole square. That is torque tau is equal to mass 2 kg into radius. Radius value is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6. 4 into 10 to the power minus 2 whole square into 4 divided by theta is 2 pi into 2 pi into 2 pi into f is, it is 3 by 60. 3 by 60 whole square. So 2 pi whole square get cancelled here. It is 1 by 400. If you simplify the situation, we'll get the answer here 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 Newton meter. So option C is correct answer. Question number 42. A disc of radius 2 meter, mass 100 kg, rolls on a horizontal floor. Its center of mass has a speed 20 centimeter per second. How much work is needed to stop it? It is a disc rolling on a horizontal floor. So how much work is required to stop it? Work required, using work energy theorem, work required is kinetic energy of the object. It is half mv square plus half I omega square. This is the formula. Work W is equal to half into m into v square plus half into moment of inertia of circular disc 1 by 2 m into r square into omega square, which is W is equal to 1 by 2 mv square plus 1 by 4 mv square. So finally work required is 3 by 4 mv square, which is W is equal to 3 by 4, mass, value of mass is 100 kg, into v square, it is 20 centimeter, 20 into 10 to the power minus 2 whole square which is W is equal to, it is 3 by 4 into 100 into 400 into 10 to the power minus 4. Minus 4 plus 4 get cancelled, 4 get cancelled. Work required to stop disk is 3 joule. 3 joule is the correct answer, means option C is correct here. Number 43, from a uniform circular disk of radius r, mass 9m, a small disk of radius r by 3 is removed as shown in the figure. The moment of inertia of remaining disk about axis perpendicular to the plane of the disk and passing through the center of the disk is asked here. First, we can find out moment of inertia of whole disk. Moment of inertia of whole disk I is equal to, it is disk, circular disk, formula is half into mass is 9m into radius is r, it is r square. I is equal to 9 by 2 m into r square. For the moment of inertia of whole circular disk. Now, if a small portion of circular disk is removed, from the whole circular disk, so when it is removed, the distance from center to here it is 2r by 3 and the radius of this is r by 3. To find out moment of inertia of remaining circular disk after small circular disk is removed from the whole circular disk, we should know value of mass of the circular disk to be removed. Mass of circular disk to be removed, which is m is equal to mass 9m divided by pi r square into area of this is mass per area, into area of this gives mass of this circular area, it is r by 3 whole square. Pi get cancelled, r square get cancelled, so mass of the circular disk is m only, to be removed is m only. Now, moment of inertia of this disk, moment of inertia of disk to be removed, moment of inertia of the disk to be removed can be found by using the formula which I would like to take as I dash. I dash is equal to, using here we have to use parallel axis theorem, moment of inertia of this small disk about this axis is equal to moment of inertia of the disk about this axis plus mx square, that is a parallel axis theorem. It is ICM plus it is m into, I would like to take this mass as m into x square for the time being. It is I dash is equal to MCM is m into r is r by 3 whole square into 1 by 2 mr square, means 1 by 2 m into r by 3 whole square, plus it is m into x is 2r by 3 whole square, 2r by 3 whole square, which is equal to, it is 1 by 2 1 by 18 139 9 into 2 is 18 mr square plus this is 4 mr square into 9. To make this also 18, I would like to multiply it by 2 divided by 2, that is I dash is equal to 4 into 2 8 plus 1 9 by 18 mr square, which is 1 by 2 mr square, which is 1 by 2 mass is, it is same, it is mr square. Now this is moment of inertia of the disk to be removed. moment of inertia of whole disk is 9 by 2 mr square. Now moment of inertia of remaining disk, moment of inertia of remaining disk is equal to I minus I dash, which is 9 by 2 mr square minus 1 by 2 mr square. 9 minus 1 is 8, which is equal to 4 mr square. 4 mr square is the right answer. So option D is correct option. 44. 7 identical circular planar discs, each of mass m and radius r, are welded symmetrically as shown. Moment of inertia of arrangement about the axis normal to the plane and passing through point P is asked. Here there are 7 circular discs. Now moment of inertia about the point, about this point is asked. This is the point P. So this distance now to find out moment of inertia about the point P, to find out moment of inertia about the point P, we should know moment of inertia of whole system, means moment of inertia of all 7 identical circular disc about point O must be found. Now moment of inertia of the system about O is, it is I, which is equal to moment of inertia of this disc plus moment of inertia of all the 6 discs about this point. For this disc we can directly write moment of inertia. For other 6 discs to write moment of inertia value, we should use parallel axis theorem. For this disc I write, for this disc we can write 1 by 2 mass is m into r square, plus there are 6 discs, I use the formula ICM plus m into x square, that is I is equal to 1 by 2 mr square plus 6 into mr square by 2 plus m into x is this distance. X is this distance. This distance means r plus r. For example, about this moment of inertia of this disc about this axis, which is at a distance 2r, that means x must be 2r whole square, that is equal to, it is 1 by 2 mr square plus 6 into, it is 4 mr square. 4 mr square means it is 2 into 4, it is 8. 8 plus 1, 9. It is 9 by 2 mr square. 9 by 2 mr square. That means moment of inertia is equal to 6 into 9, 54. 54 plus 1, 55. 55 divided by 2 mr square. This is moment of inertia about point O. Now moment of inertia of this system about P. Moment of inertia of the system about P is, moment of inertia of the system about point P is, it is IP is equal to I use parallel axis theorem. Moment of inertia this system about point P is moment of inertia of this system about O. I would like to take as O, this as O. So this is IO plus mx square. plus m into x square, which is equal to IO is 55 by 2 mr square plus m into x. X is 3r whole square. Say there are 7 discs, so mass is 7m. Mass is 7m, which is IP is equal to 55 by 2 mr square plus 9 into 7, 63 mr square, which is equal to 126 plus 55, 181 mr square divided by 2. 181 mr square by 2 into mr square means option C is correct option here. Option C is correct. Question number 45. 3 object. Object A solid sphere, object B thin circular disc, object C circular ring. Each have same mass m, radius r. They all spin with the same angular speed omega about their own symmetric axis. The amount of work required to bring them to rest, which one would satisfies the relation is a question here. You know, work done can be found by using the formula work done is equal to half I omega square. So work energy theorem, according to work energy theorem, work done is equal to half I omega square. It is given all are rotating with the same omega value and half is constant, so omega is directly proportional to I. So we can write work done for A is to work done for B is to work done for C is equal to IA is to IB is to IC. That is WA is to WB is to WC is equal to IA, it is solid sphere, it is 2 by 5 mr square is to IB circular disc 1 by 2 mr square is to IC is circular ring, it is mr square, which is WA is to WB is to WC. We can take 10 as LCM here. So it is 10 by 5, 2 into 2, 4. It is 5 is to 10. That means WC is greater than, WB is greater than WA, WC is greater than, WB greater than WA, means option B is correct answer here. B is the correct answer. Question number 46. A solid sphere is in rolling motion. In rolling motion, body possesses translational kinetic energy as well as rotational kinetic energy simultaneously. Ratio of translational kinetic energy to sum of translational kinetic energy and rotational energy for sphere is asked here. So we can straight away write, it is question asked here is KT divided by KT plus KR. KT, kinetic energy due to translational motion, half mv square divided by half mv square plus half I omega square. You know about this. This is energy due to rotational motion. Now it is half mv square divided by half mv square plus, it is object is a solid sphere. Moment of inertia of the solid sphere is 2 by 5 m r square into omega square, which is half mv square divided by half mv square plus, it is r omega is 1 by 2 into 2 by 5 mv square. So half mv square divided by half mv square can be taken outside here, half mv square 1 plus 2 by 5. So half mv square get cancelled. It is 5 by 7 answer, it is 5:7. 5:7 means option D is correct answer here. D is the correct answer. Question number 47. A solid sphere is rotating freely about its symmetric axis in free space. The radius of sphere is increased, keeping its mass the same. Which of the following physical quantity would remain constant for a sphere? So remember here, we can just question number 47, L is equal to I omega. Since no torque is acting here, L is constant, means I omega is equal to constant. Here it is given radius of the sphere is increased, keeping its mass constant. Since radius is increased, I increases, and when I increases, to maintain I omega constant, omega decreases. Rotational kinetic energy. So rotational kinetic energy can be written as, it is L square by 2I. You know, I increases means kinetic energy decreases. Since no torque is acting on the system, since tau is equal to 0, L is constant. That means L remains constant. Option A is the correct answer here. A is the correct answer. Question number 48. The moment of force F is given at 2 points in 3 dimension. It is given. Moment of force is asked, torque is asked. You know, torque can be found by using the formula R cross F. Torque is R cross F. Here F is given in terms of vector, and that 2 points in 3 dimension can also be expressed in terms of vector. It is R1, which is 2I cap, comma 0 means 0 j cap, minus 3k cap. Similarly, R2, vector R2 is equal to, it is 2I cap minus 2j cap minus 2k cap. Torque tau is equal to R1 minus R2, vector R1 minus vector R2, cross vector F. That is, torque tau is equal to R1 minus R2. 2I cap minus 2I cap, 0. 0 j cap minus 2 j cap, it is 2 j cap. Then minus 3 k cap, minus of minus 2 k cap, it is minus k cap, into vector F is, it is vector F is 4I cap plus 5j cap minus 6k cap, cross product. Now this one can be solved by using matrices method. I, j, k, it is 0, 2, minus 1, 4, 5, minus 6, which is equal to I cap 2 into 6 minus 12 plus 5 minus j cap, it is 6 into 0, 0, 4 into minus 1 plus 4 minus plus k cap, it is 5 into 0, 0, 4 into 2 minus 8. So torque tau is minus 2 plus 5 minus 7 I cap minus 4 j cap minus 8 k cap. So this is a correct answer, minus 7 I cap minus 4 j cap minus 8 k cap means option A is correct answer here. Question number 49. A rope is wound around a hollow cylinder of mass 3 kg, radius 40 centimeter. What is the angular acceleration of the cylinder if the rope is pulled with a force of 30 Newton? It is a cylinder fixed from the center. What is the angular acceleration if cylinder of the rope is pulled with a force of 30 Newton? Force F is 30 Newton. This is the radius. And you know that it is given in the problem that mass M is 3 kg. Then radius R is equal to 40 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Force F is equal to 30 Newton. Angular acceleration alpha can be found by using the formula. It is alpha is equal to tau by I. It is tau is F into R divided by I is, it is a hollow cylinder. Hollow cylinder means it is a ring, just like ring. Moment of inertia of hollow cylinder is equal to moment of inertia of ring, that is mr square. So alpha is equal to 1r get cancelled, F divided by m into r. F is 30 Newton, 30. M mass of the circular ring. So here we can take mass as small letter m. Mass is 3 kg into R is 40 centimeter. It is 40 into 10 to the power minus 2. 3 get cancelled, 10 get cancelled. It is alpha is 100 divided by 4, which is 100 divided by 4 means 25 radian per second square is the correct answer here. So 25 means it is option D, C is the correct option. Question number 15. Two discs of same moment of inertia rotating about their regular axis, passing through center and perpendicular to the plane of the disc with angular velocity omega 1 and omega 2. They are brought in contact face to face coinciding the axis of rotation. Expression for loss of energy during the process is. So here in the beginning, two discs are rotating about their axis with a different angular velocity. There are two discs rotating about the axis with a different angular velocity omega 1 and omega 2. Moment of inertia I1 here, moment of inertia I2 here. Now total kinetic energy, initial kinetic energy initial can be written as, it is half same moment of inertia I1 is I, I2 is also I. So I take I into omega 1 square plus half into I into omega 2 square. So kinetic energy initial is equal to half plus half 1. It is I omega 1 square plus omega 2 square. That is the initial kinetic energy. When these two discs are placed one above the other, so it is given there is a loss of kinetic energy. What is the loss of kinetic energy? To find out loss of kinetic energy, we want final kinetic energy. To find out final kinetic energy, we want expression for omega, that system with which that is angular velocity with which this system rotates. So that is omega. I want omega. To calculate omega, you know that initial angular momentum is equal to final angular momentum. Initial angular momentum, it is I into omega 1 plus omega 2. Final angular momentum, so both having same moment of inertia, it is I and rotating with same angular velocity, it is 2I omega. I get cancelled. Omega is equal to omega 1 plus omega 2 divided by 2. Now final kinetic energy kinetic energy final can be found by using the formula. It is half I omega square plus half I omega square, which is equal to I into omega square. That is, loss of kinetic energy delta Ke is equal to kinetic energy initial minus kinetic energy final. Initial kinetic energy we can just write it is I into omega 1 square plus omega 2 square minus final kinetic energy it is I into omega square. That is, delta Ke can be written as it is I into omega 1 square plus omega 2 square minus I into omega is omega 1 plus omega 2 divided by 2 whole square. So this is the equation which I have written here from this equation, that is omega is equal to omega 1 plus omega 2 divided by 2. Now loss of kinetic energy delta Ke is equal to, so we can, this is 1 by 4 kinetic energy initial here I by 2 is there, I by 2 is there, it is I by 2 is common, yes, I by 2 is there. So I by 2 into omega 1 square plus omega 2 square minus I by 4 into omega 1 square plus omega 2 square minus 2 omega 1 into omega 2, which gives delta Ke, loss of kinetic energy, which is equal to, that is I by 2 we can take as common here, it is 2 omega 1 square plus 2 omega 2 square minus omega 1 square minus omega 2 square minus 2 omega 1 omega 2, that is loss of kinetic energy is equal to I by 2 into I by 2 into it is omega 1 minus omega 2 whole square. So here this must be I by 4. That is, this is the correct answer. Option it is y by 4 omega I into omega 1 minus omega 2 whole square. Option B is the correct answer. Question number 51. Two rotating bodies A and B of masses m and 2m with moment of inertia IA and IB. IB is greater than IA, have equal kinetic energy of rotation. If LA and LB are their angular momentum respectively, then which of the following options are correct is the question here. We can write angular momentum L square. L is equal to kinetic energy is equal to L square divided by 2I. L square divided by 2I. As given in the question, both the bodies A and B have equal kinetic energy. That is, kinetic energy of body A is equal to kinetic energy of body B. Kinetic energy of body A can be written as LA square divided by 2IA, which is equal to LB square divided by 2IB. 2 is a common, get cancelled. It is LA divided by LB is equal to root of IA divided by IB. As given in the problem, IB is greater than IA. Since IB is greater than IA, LA by LB is lesser than 1. that implies LA is lesser than LB. LA is lesser than LB is the option. That is option A is correct answer. A solid sphere of mass m, radius r is rotating about its diameter. Solid cylinder of same mass and same radius is also rotating about its geometrical axis with an angular speed twice that of the sphere. The ratio of their kinetic energy of rotation, that is E sphere divided by E cylinder, is asked here. That is E sphere divided by E cylinder, which is ratio of kinetic energy. It is half I omega square for sphere divided by half I omega square for cylinder, right? E sphere means kinetic energy of sphere rotating about the axis. E cylinder means kinetic energy of cylinder about given axis. Now half into moment of inertia of the cylinder about the diameter is 2 by 5 mr square into omega square divided by half into, it is moment of inertia of the solid cylinder is 1 by 2 m into r square into omega is cylinder rotates twice the velocity of the solid sphere. It is 2 omega whole square. It is 2 into 2 4. It is 4 get cancelled. Mr square omega square cancelled by mr square omega square here. It is answer is 1 by 5. That means E sphere be divided by E cylinder is 1:5. Option D is correct answer. Question number 53. A light rod of length L has two masses m1 and m2 attached to its two ends. Moment of inertia of the system about an axis perpendicular to the rod and passing through the center of mass is asked. Here we can just consider 2 point masses connected to the rod. Length L, mass m1, mass m2, moment of inertia of the system about an axis perpendicular to the rod and passing through the center of mass is asked. Moment of inertia about this is asked. I take this distance as x for the time being. This distance I would like to take as y, and the distance is L. Now moment of inertia of the system about the axis I is equal to, it is m1 x square plus m2 into y square. X is distance of center of mass of these two particles with respect to m1. That is distance of center of mass with respect to m1 can be found by using the formula. It is x is equal to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 divided by m1 plus m2. That is x is equal to m1 this mass, r1 distance of center of mass with respect to m1. r1 is distance of this mass with respect to this. That means r1 is 0 into 0 square plus m2 into r2 is distance of this mass with respect to m1. So this distance is L into L divided by m1 plus m2. That is x is equal to m2 into L divided by m1 plus m2. Similarly, we can also find out y. Y is equal to m1L divided by m1 plus m2. Similar formula can be used to find out y also. So here we measure distance of center of mass with respect to m2. With respect to m2, so this term get this term becomes 0 and R1 is L, so M1L divided by M1 plus M2. So if you substitute these values in the expression, I is equal to, it is M1 x square, it is M2 into L divided by M1 plus M2 whole square, plus that is M2 into y square, that is M1L divided by M1 plus M2 whole square, which is equal to, I would like to take common term outside, M1 M2 I would like to take outside, it is M1 into M2 L square divided by M1 plus M2 whole square. This is a common term. M1, M2 is common term in both the equation. L square is common and M1 plus M2 is whole square. Then remaining term is here M1, M2 is taken outside, 1 M2 remains here. It is 1 M2. Here M1, M2 is taken outside, M1 is left. It is into M1. So after cancellation, we can just write moment of inertia I is equal to M1 into M2 into L divided by M1 plus M2, M1 into M2 into L square divided by M1 plus M2. 1 M1 plus M2 cancel here. So final answer it is C. C is the right option. Question number 54. From a disc of radius capital letter R and mass M, a circular hole of diameter R whose rim passes through the center is cut. What is the moment of inertia of remaining part of the disc about perpendicular axis and passing through the center is asked. First we can find out moment of inertia of whole disc. Here it is disc of mass M and radius, mass M and radius R. Moment of inertia of this disc about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane is I is equal to 1 by 2 into M into R square. Now we can remove sphere from this. Then it is asked what is the moment of inertia of the remaining part of the sphere after removal of this disc. So here radius of this is R by 2. To calculate moment of inertia of remaining disc, first we should find out moment of inertia of this disc. Before finding out moment of inertia of this disc, we should find out mass of this disc to be removed. That is mass of disc to be removed. Mass of the disc to be removed, that is M, I would like to write small letter m. M is equal to M by pi R square into pi into radius of this is R by 2 whole square, which is M by 4. Now moment of inertia of disc to be removed. Moment of inertia of the disc to be removed, that is I dash I would like to take. I dash is equal to ICM plus M into X square, which is ICM. ICM is moment of inertia of the disc about the axis passing through the center. It is half M into R by 2 whole square plus M into X, distance from this center of this disc to center of original disc, it is R by 2, which is I dash is equal to half M R square by 4 plus M R square by 4. It is M R square by 4 is common, 1 plus 1 by 2, it is 3 by 2, which is equal to 3 by 8 M R square I dash is equal to 3 by 8. Mass of this to be removed is m by 4. It is m by 4 into r square, which is 3 by 32 mr square. This is moment of inertia of the disk to be removed. Now, moment of inertia of remaining disk. Moment of inertia of remaining disk. Moment of inertia of remaining disk, that is equal to I minus I dash, which is equal to I minus I dash. I is half mr square. I dash is 3 by 32 mr square, which is equal to, so you multiplied this and divide by this by 16. It is 16 into 16 minus 3, 13. 13 by 32 mr square is the correct answer. 13 by 32 mr square means option A is the correct answer. Option A is correct. Question number 55. Disk and sphere of same radius but different masses roll off on two inclined plane of same altitude and length. Which of the two objects get to the bottom of the plane first? Here, time can be decided by using the formula T is equal to root of 2L by G sin theta into 1 plus I divided by mr square. This formula, which can be used to find out time taken by the object to reach bottom of the plane. Now, as given in the problem, L is constant and sin theta is constant, G is constant. All this constant term can be replaced by K into 1 plus I by mr square. This is a formula which we can use here. Now, for sphere, moment of inertia about the diameter is 2 by 5 mr square, which is T is equal to K into root of 1 plus, it is I is mr square, 2 by 5 mr square. 2 by 5 mr square means mr square cancel, it is 2 by 5. So that is K into root of 7 by 5, which is K into root of 1.4. Now, for cylinder, moment of inertia I is equal to mr square by 2. Now, time I take for sphere time as T1, for cylinder time as T2. T2 is equal to, it is constant K into 1 plus, if I substitute I as mr square by 2, so we can obtain 1 by 2, which is equal to constant K into 3 by 2, which is equal to K into 1.5. If you just look at the time, this cylinder takes more time than sphere. So sphere reaches the bottom of the inclined plane first. So option A is the correct answer. Question number 56. Uniform circular disc of radius 50 centimeter at rest is free to turn about an axis which is perpendicular to its plane and passes through its center. It is subjected to a torque which produces constant angular acceleration of 2 radian per second square. Its net acceleration in meter per second square at the end of 2 seconds is asked. Here it is a uniform circular disc which was at rest. Now it is made to move with, it is made to rotate. When it is made to rotate, you know that a force must be applied. When force is applied tangentially, it has centripetal acceleration towards the center as well as tangential acceleration about the tangent. Resultant of this is net acceleration, which is A is equal to square root of, it is AC square plus AT square. It is AC is centripetal acceleration. To calculate centripetal acceleration, we need value of omega. So here question asked that at the end of the 2 second, what is the net acceleration? So omega can be found by using the formula alpha into t, which is alpha is 2 radian per second square at the end of 2 second, which is equal to 2, which is equal to 4 radian per second. Here centripetal acceleration AC is equal to omega square into r. It is 4 into omega square, 4 square. It is 4 square into r. R is 50 centimeter. 50 centimeter means 0.5. It is 16 into 0.5 means 8 meter per second square. This is the value of centripetal acceleration. Now about tangential acceleration. Tangential acceleration can be found by using the formula r alpha. So r is given, it is 0.5. Value of r is 50 centimeter. 50 centimeter means 0.5 into alpha value. Alpha value is 2 radian, which is equal to 0.5 into 2 means it is 1 meter per second square. Now we can just find out net acceleration. A is equal to root of centripetal acceleration value is 8 square plus 1 square. 1 square, when you compare this 8 square, 1 square is negligibly small. So we can just write A is equal to 8 meter per second square. 8 meter per second square means D is correct option. Number 57, that is point masses M1 and M2 are placed at two opposite ends of a rigid rod of length L and negligible mass. The rod is to be set rotating about an axis perpendicular to it as shown in the figure. The position of the point P on the rod through which axis should pass, so that work required to set the rod rotating with angular velocity omega naught minimum is given by. So to find out that, we can just consider the diagram once. Say there are 2 point masses M1 and M2 at the 2 ends of the rod, and axis passes through point P, and the distance from one end it is x, distance from the other end L minus x, and it is rotating about angular velocity omega naught. Now you know total work done to give angular velocity to the system omega naught to the system is total kinetic energy. Work done W is equal to, it is half I omega naught square plus, I take I1, half I2 omega naught square. That is work done is equal to half into omega naught square is common, which is I1. I1 means moment of inertia of this mass about this axis. This mass at a distance x from axis, so we can just write m1 into x square plus moment of inertia of this about this point, it is m2 into L minus x whole square. L minus x whole square. Now question asked is work done. To have minimum work done, what should be the value of x? Work done is minimum when dw by dx is equal to 0. Work done minimum. Work done minimum dw by dx is 0. That means we should differentiate this equation. It is d by dx of omega naught square divided by 2 into m1x square plus m2 into L minus x whole square equal to 0. That means d by dx of it is, this one can be taken to right side, that term becomes 0. It is m1 x square plus m2 into L minus x whole square, x whole square. Differentiation of this equation with respect to dx, that is m1 is constant, it is m1, differentiation of x square is 2x plus m2 into differentiation of L minus x whole square, it is 2 into L minus x into minus 1 is equal to 0. So that means 2 is common everywhere. m1x is equal to m2 into L minus x, or m1 plus m2 into x is equal to m2 into L. This m2x term can be taken to the left hand side, so that this equation become m1 plus m2 into x equal to m2L. So we want value of x. X is equal to m2L divided by m1 plus m2. This is the final answer. Means option A is the correct answer. Question number 58. A force F is equal to, it is alpha I cap plus 3j cap plus 6k cap is acting at a point vector r is equal to 2I cap minus 6j cap minus 12k cap. Value of alpha for which angular momentum about the origin is conserved. So r, vector r can be written as F, already I have written. Vector r is 2I cap, this is alpha I cap, 2I cap minus 6j cap minus 12k cap. Once again, F is alpha I cap, 3j cap, 6k cap. R is equal to 2I cap minus 6j cap minus 12k cap. To conserve angular momentum, what should be the value of R? Angular momentum is conserved, L is conserved only when torque is equal to 0. Torque is equal to 0 means R cross F is equal to 0. R cross F is 0. That implies R, vector R is 2I cap minus 6j cap minus 12k cap cross, it is alpha I cap plus 3j cap plus 6k cap. Now to find out R cross F is equal to 0, it is vector tau, we can just take matrices form, which is I, vector I, j, k, that is R is 2 minus 6 minus 12, alpha 3, 6. Now that implies I vector I cap is 6 into 6 minus 36, 36 plus 36 minus j cap, it is 12 plus 12 plus k cap, it is 6 plus 6 alpha, which is equal to 0. This equation is 0 only when this term and this term is 0. Anyhow, this term is 0, that is 12 plus 12 alpha is equal to 0. That means alpha is equal to minus 1. Minus 1 is the correct answer, means option A is the correct choice. Question number 59. An automobile moves on a road with a speed of 54 km per hour. The radius of its wheel is 0.45 meter and moment of inertia of the wheel about the axis of rotation is 3 kg meter square. If the vehicle is brought to rest in 15 seconds, then magnitude of average torque transmitted by its brake to the wheel is a question. Now, we can just write the given data first. Automobile moves on a road with a speed, it is V is equal to 54 kilometer, 54 5 by 18, which is equal to 15 meter per second. 15 meter per second. Radius of the wheel, it is R is equal to 0.45 meter. Then moment of inertia I is equal to 3 kg meter square. Moment of inertia is 3 kg meter square. If the vehicle is brought to rest in 15 seconds, time t is equal to 15 seconds, then torque transmitted by the brake is how much is the question. So to find out the torque, we can go for the formula. Torque tau is equal to I into alpha. Then you know that here time is given. To bring that to rest, time is given. That means we can use the formula omega is equal to omega naught minus alpha t. This is 0, which is equal to omega naught minus alpha t. That means t is equal to omega naught by alpha. So we can just write tau is equal to I into alpha is omega naught by alpha. That is torque tau is equal to I by alpha. Omega naught is V by R. Omega naught is V by R. I, moment of inertia value is given, it is 3, and value of velocity, it is 15, divided by alpha value, it is it is 2, not alpha, it is 2 omega naught by time, omega naught by time. T is equal to omega naught, alpha is equal to omega naught by t. That means this is t, I is 3, V is 15, then time is 15 seconds, into R it is 0.45, which means tau is equal to 300 divided by 45. 15 get cancelled. 300 by 45 means it is 6.66 Newton meter is the correct answer. Option A is the correct choice here. Question number 60. A rod of weight W is supported by two parallel knife edges A and B and is in equilibrium in a horizontal position. The knives are at a distance d from each other. The center of mass of the rod at a distance x from A. Normal reaction on A is asked. It is a rod of weight W. Just consider a rod of weight W, and this rod is supported by the two knife edges, just like this. You know, weight of the rod is acting from the center. This is W as given in the problem. This end is A, this end is B, and total distance, it is capital letter D. This distance is capital letter D, and this distance is x. This distance is d minus x. Since a rod is in equilibrium, both translational equilibrium as well as rotational equilibrium. Since a rod is in equilibrium, since a rod is in equilibrium, sum of the upward forces is equal to sum of the downward forces. Upward force acting on the rod by this knife edge, if I consider as N1, this by this knife edge at point B can be taken as N2. That means N1 plus n2 is equal to w, or n2 is equal to, it is w minus n1. Now it is asked in the question that normal reaction on A is asked. Normal reaction on A is asked. To calculate normal reaction on A, I would like to consider this as a point O, and I would like to calculate moment of force or torque about O. Now, moment of force about O is, moment of force about O is, so you know that this N1 tries to rotate, this rod is in anti-clockwise direction, this tries to rotate in anti-clockwise direction. You know, anti-clockwise moment of force in a anti-clockwise direction, clockwise direction can be taken with negative sign. Moment of force about anti-clockwise direction can be taken as positive. This I would like to take with negative sign, minus n1 into x plus n2 into d minus x is equal to 0. That is n1x is equal to n2 into d minus x. That implies n1x is equal to, n2 can be replaced by w minus n1 into d minus x. That is n1x is equal to w into d minus x. It is minus n1 into d minus x. If you just look at this n1x is cancelled by this n1x, minus of n1 minus of x plus, so that is minus n1d become plus n1d this side, it is w into d minus x. That is n1 is equal to w into d minus x. n1 is equal to w into d minus x divided by d. That means w into d minus x divided by d. That is option D is the correct answer.